Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital early spoilers May 19th to 23rd. Drew doubles down on leverage, love and lashes out. Wednesday, May 14th, Alexis is desperately trying to shut down Ava Jerome, Maura West, and Rick Lansing's, Rick Hurst, blackmail because she knows she's going to get busted because she's having to steal a whole buttload of money. And she's going to turn to Damian Spinelli, Bradford Anderson, for help. So, Alexis asked the Jackal to help her save Christina's life. But if this is about saving Christina, then it sounds like Alexis may be asking Spinelli to work a miracle and maybe wipe the digital video evidence against Christina. It was on the surveillance tapes. It's also on Ava's phone, but this is Spinelli we're talking about. Meanwhile, Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, and Carly Corinthos Spencer, Laura Wright, come up with a plan. She's telling Jason she wants to get Michael Corinthos's, Chad Duell, kids out of Drew and Willow Tate's, Caitlin McMullen, house ASAP. And remember, Carly asked Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy, to move up the custody hearing. That's why Willow is devastated as she is served with some new legal papers thanks to Carly's plotting and planning. And it may be a move for sole custody of the kids. There could be, we'll see, an emergency hearing over Drew's dirty antics, even though he insists he was drugged and set up, which we all know is true. And Willow is in shock and cannot believe what's happening. And she may think this ties back to Michael refusing to see her in Germany, which we all know was the work of Drew. Meanwhile, he uncovers something and says he knows who to call. So, this may be Drew telling Willow he can help her with this legal matter. So, is Drew going to use his influence or figure out that Carly is behind this and not Michael? Laura Spencer, Jeannie Francis, loses her temper with someone? It could be about Sidwell, Carlo Rota, or what Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens, is up to. And Elizabeth Weber, Rebecca Herbst, has a recollection about their car accident and tells Rick she recalls that right before they crashed, he said something about the brakes not working. When Liz tells him this, is Rick Lansing going to try and dial it back because he doesn't want it coming out because he is banking on that blackmail money? And Christina tells Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, she does not know if she can ever trust or forgive her mom, Alexis, again. GH spoilers. Thursday's shocking revelations, May 15th. On Thursday, May 15th, Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Benard, has a heart-to-heart with Gio Palmieri, Gio Mazza, who is still plagued with guilt over the Rocco Falceroni, Finn Francis Carr, alcohol poisoning incident. And Rick Lansing gets an interesting offer from someone. Maybe it's Alexis. Maybe it's Spinelli coming to him to try and get him to back off the blackmail. Elizabeth has a chat with Lucas Jones, Van Hansis, and I wonder if she's going to talk about her memories of the accident and the brakes going out. And Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, is on a search for answers with Liz recalling the brake thing. You know, will Lucky figure out that Rick Lansing might know the truth about Christina? And that ties back to why Alexis wanted to commit her daughter. Meanwhile, Christina tries to undo some damage, and it's got to be about the accident. Friday, May 16th, Sonny is trying to talk to Willow. Maybe it's about this custody case with Michael. And I wonder if Sonny knows that this is something Carly is cooking up. Speaking of that, Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watt-Rose, asks a big favor of Carly. And Nina may ask Carly to ask Michael to stop this legal action. Clearly, Nina has no idea that Carly is behind it. Lulu's on a quest for answers. She wants proof that Gio is Brooke Lynn Quartermaine, Amanda Setton, and Dante's son. DNA testing is the only way to prove it for sure. So, we'll see how far Lulu goes. Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, tries to ease Brooke Lynn's worries and she may tell her that she shut down Lulu and that adoption story she was writing. Tracy thinks she has shut down Lulu all around. But no, she has not. General Hospital spoilers. Portia needs advice. Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, needs advice from Ava and it's obviously about Drew's relentless blackmail, and Portia might tell Ava what she and Nina did with the ketamine and the hooker. But as far as I've seen so far, unless I miss something, Drew hasn't let Portia, Brooke Kerr, know that he knows she did the ketamine thing. And there's still that thing hanging up in the air where Drew paid an extra $500,000 to Brad Cooper, Perry Shan, for one last thing before he went. And then I don't think we saw what it was. So I wonder if he went down and signed an affidavit with the police or something. Next week on GH. May 19th to 23rd spoilers revealed. The week of May 19th through the 23rd, Spinelli is on his mission to help Alexis. But if Ava's got backups of their surveillance video and Spinelli is trying to clean up all of the video evidence, that might be problematic. And I wonder if Spinelli will cross lines to cover Christina's crime. Lulu gets closer and closer to the truth about Gio, Dante, and Brooke Lynn. And Willow takes a turn. Obviously, Carly's hoping she will back off of Drew, but knowing what we've seen from Willow, she may keep pushing forward. She may even double down. And her honey bunny Drew is going to try and fix this mess for her, as he's promised he would always watch out for her. Portia keeps digging that hole deeper. Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, suspects his wife, and he's going to be furious when he finds out what Portia did, and that's why she is trying to get him to lay off of Drew. Tracy fights for her family. She wants to bring BLQ's son home and into the family fold. Little does a lot of the Quartermaines know that he's already there. It's Gio. Look for Stella Henry, Vernee Watson. Scenes these 2 weeks and more with the despicable Ezra Boyle, Daniel Cosgrove, as he is conspiring with Drew and Sidwell its share of power plays. But Drew Kane's, Cameron Matheson, latest turn is setting off shockwaves that no one saw coming. Between secrets, strained love, and an explosive temper that's been building for weeks, Drew's cool-headed hero image may be unraveling, and the fallout could change everything. Leverage and loyalty collide. It all begins when Drew gets hold of a confidential file tied to ELQ, a file that could destroy more than just business reputations. Word around Port Charles is that he's been playing a dangerous game with insider information about Ned, Wally Kurth, and Tracy Quartermaine's, Jane Elliott, recent maneuverings. But Drew isn't stopping there. He's also been quietly collecting intel on Valentine Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart, something that puts him in a unique position of power. He's tired of being underestimated, tired of losing control to everyone around him. And when Tracy learns Drew's sitting on explosive information that could destabilize both ELQ and Valentine's latest investment scheme, she makes it clear she's not afraid to strike first.
Don't play Quartermaine chess unless you're ready to lose a queen, Tracy warns. But Drew only smirks.
Maybe I'm not playing chess anymore, he shoots back. Love under pressure.
Meanwhile, Drew's emotional world is a mess.
His dynamic with Carly, Laura Wright, has shifted, the once fiery connection now simmering with tension and mistrust. Carly sees his obsession with power as a dangerous echo of Sonny's, Maurice Benard, darker days. You're starting to sound like the man you said you'd never become, Carly tells him during a heated argument at Kelly's, her voice cracking under the weight of her words. Drew tries to convince her he's doing this for them, for their family, for stability, but Carly isn't buying it. The look she gives him as she turns away says it all. Drew's not just losing his moral compass, he's losing her. But there's another layer to this, one that's driving fans wild with speculation. His growing closeness with Willow, Caitlin McMullen, hasn't gone unnoticed. Since helping her navigate her recent personal and professional struggles, Drew has become her unexpected confidant. Sometimes the people you trust the least end up being the ones who really see you, Willow says softly, unaware of the longing flickering behind Drew's eyes. It's subtle, emotional, and complicated. Exactly the kind of messy triangle that ignites Port Charles. Drew's breaking point. Everything comes to a head when Drew learns that someone, possibly Michael, Chad Duell, has been feeding information about his private dealings to the PCPD. It's the betrayal that sends him over the edge. In a dramatic confrontation at the Quartermaine mansion, Drew storms into the living room just as Michael and Willow are discussing ELQ's future. "You think you can play me?" Drew shouts, slamming a file down on the table. "You don't even know what game you're in." Michael, blindsided, tries to calm him down, but Drew's fury is volcanic. He accuses Michael of stabbing him in the back to save face with the family. Carly rushes in, trying to de-escalate, but Drew's too far gone, his frustration, heartbreak, and sense of betrayal all exploding at once. "After everything I've done for this family, this is how you repay me," he roars. "I bled for this company, I bled for this town, and all of you just keep cutting deeper." The room falls silent, the air heavy with shock. Even Tracy looks unsettled. The fallout. The next morning, Drew's outburst dominates every corner of Port Charles. At the Metro Court, Tracy tells Brooke Lynn, Amanda Seton, that Drew's finally showing his Kane DNA, implying that he's inherited Jason's relentless edge without the discipline to control it. Meanwhile, Carly confides in Sam, Kelly Monaco, struggling to understand where things went so wrong. Sam listens quietly before offering a pointed truth. Drew's trying to rewrite his story, But sometimes the past doesn't let go that easily. There's even talk that Drew may be aligning himself with an unexpected ally, possibly Valentine himself, to regain control of ELQ. Valentine, ever the strategist, sees the advantage immediately. "You and I both know what it's like to lose everything," he tells Drew over a scotch at the Metro Court Bar. "Maybe it's time we stop letting everyone else decide our future." Is Drew truly teaming up with a Cassadine? If so, it's a move that could destroy his remaining credibility and push Carly further away for good. An emotional confession. Later, in a rare quiet scene, Drew visits Monica's, Leslie Charlson, grave, seeking solace, guidance, or maybe just forgiveness. He admits that he's been losing himself, that he's not sure if he's fighting for what's right anymore or simply fighting to win. "I used to know who I was," he whispers, placing a single white rose on her headstone. "Now I'm not sure I recognize the man looking back at me." The vulnerability in that moment reminds viewers of the Drew they fell in love with. The soldier with heart, the hero trying to rebuild his life. But as he leaves the cemetery, his phone buzzes with a cryptic message. "It's done. You have what you wanted." Drew pauses, a storm brewing behind his eyes. Whatever he's set in motion is now irreversible. What happens next? In the episodes to come, Drew's descent into morally gray territory is expected to deepen. Rumors suggest his leverage could involve secret recordings, buried ELQ documents, or even personal skeletons from Port Charles's most powerful families. Meanwhile, Carly will face a painful choice: stand by Drew despite his growing ruthlessness, or walk away before he drags her into his war. Willow, too, will be torn between loyalty to Michael and sympathy for Drew, especially as she discovers how much he's been protecting her behind the scenes. And if Valentine is truly working with Drew, the Quartermaine-Cassadine Cold War could erupt into all-out chaos. As Tracy warns Ned, once Kane picks a side, there's no going back, and God help anyone who stands in his way. The bottom line. Drew Kane has always been the calm in Port Charles's storm, the voice of reason, the steady hand. But now, it looks like the storm is Drew. He's using leverage to gain power, losing love in the process, and lashing out at those closest to him. It's raw, emotional storytelling, the kind that reminds viewers that even the most righteous man can be pushed past his limits.